So the Mike Tyson Jake Paul card was crazy. We had everything from robberies to elderly men showing their bare ass for some reason. Someone even caught back shots in the ring. I'm gonna tell you guys the full story of this card as viewed by Twitter, because we know everyone on there is completely sane, normal, and functioning individuals, and they'll post common sense takes, right?
Nope.
To do this right, we have to start with where this event was broadcasted from. Netflix. A streaming behemoth surely capable of hosting a simple boxing match, right? Wrong. That's right, guys. Netflix, a multi-billion-dollar company worth even more than Disney, was completely inept in their ability to host a boxing card. Chances are, if you were watching live, you saw this screen more than once. And people on Twitter, of course, wasted absolutely no time flaming them for this. the Netflix servers right now, if Netflix broadcasted NFL games.
With the game on the line.
Ludwig even dropped a banger with damn near 100,000 likes. Netflix finding out live streaming is harder than a 9 to 5, which is the first time I've heard someone say that without wanting to destroy my PC. But without further ado, let's get into the fights. The first fight on the main card was between Goyat and Whindersson Nunes. Goyat being a highly esteemed Indian boxer with a significant amount of hype behind him from that side of the world. Nunes being a, YouTuber. Yeah, so Goyat put absolute hands on Nunes the entire fight and then proceeded to hump him.
Huh?
Yep, you saw that right. Must be an Izzy fan. Between fights, we got a nice little sideshow of Mike Tyson showing his ass. Twitter has gotten really creative with the memes on this one. Yeah, seeing Mike Tyson's ass on the TV got all of us looking just like Carly. Mike Tyson's ass out during that interview. And my personal favorite, me going to the blacksmith after all my armor breaks. Shout out to VC David for translating that so Mike can understand it. And since we're talking about sideshows, I guess Netflix figured if they're showing ass, they might as well show titties too. The ring girls have Twitter in a chokehold, and the one with the tightest squeeze is Sydney Thomas. No pun intended there. But seriously, I haven't seen people go this feral since the Kate Upton craze in the early 2010s. The second fight on the card was between Mario Barrios and Abel Ramos for the WBC welterweight strap, and this was a respectable fight. Both guys scored knockdowns against each other and demonstrated legitimate finishing potential, keeping the tension throughout the whole fight. Barrios was the existing champion and favored to win, so the commentators spent a lot of time giving him the Mahomes treatment.
That cutting and this is why
Regardless, Ramos was able to make the fight a close one. So close, in fact, that I had no idea who won by the end of it, and clearly neither did the judges because their scorecards were all over the place. One judge had it 116 to 110 Barrios, the second judge had it 114 to 112 Ramos, and the last judge had it 113 to 113 for a split draw. So that ended the fight in a draw, which nobody was really upset about, either because the fight was just that close or because Netflix was still buffering for them. There wasn't too much buzz around this fight on Twitter, but everyone who did see it was pleasantly surprised by the quality of the boxing. Sadly for them though, the next fight completely stole the show. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano was absolute cinema. Apparently these two girls had fought before in a historic fight with a controversial decision giving the win to Taylor, and this was the rematch. You should have heard the announcers listing these women's achievements.
She was the 6-time European gold medalist. She was the 5-time European Union gold medalist. And in 2012, she became an Olympic gold medalist.
Nah, if my opponent had all those accolades, I'd be unstrapping the gloves and packing it up. Nah, you got it. Shit would have me shaking in my boots. I don't want to die. But they braver than me, cause as soon as that bell went off, they got to squabbling immediately. I mean, it was just minka all over the place. I'm talking jabs, I'm talking big meaty hooks, I'm talking headbutts. These girls were mean, man. Taylor headbutted Serrano so hard it split her head clean open. I can't show you that, but just know it was gruesome. It was so bad, in fact, that the ref took a point from Taylor. And at that point, with the fight being so close and most people agreeing Serrano was edging out most of the rounds, we thought we'd have a trilogy on our hands. But just like in their last fight, a controversial decision gives Taylor the win.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
Now, remember how I said everyone on Twitter is sane and functioning? I innocently opened the app after the decision to see some nuanced discussion about the judging. The refs watching the Taylor Serrano fight! Katie Taylor getting cooked for 5 rounds by Amanda Serrano in hearing and still undefeated. Serrano just existing. Katie Taylor. Me liking every tweet about Amanda Serrano being robbed tonight. Now don't get me wrong. I also thought Serrano won and that Taylor was leading with her head in the exchanges. I just didn't expect Twitter to be so passionate. They were ready to take the stand for Serrano. To be honest though, I'm just happy that it was a good fight because I watch a lot of UFC and WMMA has not been representing female fighters well at all. I saw a female co-main event and started fluffing my pillow, heating up some milk, thought I'd get a quick nap in before Jake and Mike. Turns out I almost missed true art. The moment you've all been waiting for, old versus young, experience versus drive, wheelchair man versus YouTuber. Finally, it has arrived. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Jake Paul rides to the stage in a Bentley with hot rod flames.
Hot rod flames.
And Mike Tyson trips on his way to the ring. And that's kind of the story of the fight. Jake tries desperately to look cool and Mike is geriatric. So the fight starts off and both guys actually look pretty good. Mike is moving well and Jake looks way more like a real boxer than he used to. Mike hits Jake with a sort of lunging jab that puts Jake on notice. At that moment, Jake was thinking, did I make a mistake? Should I have waited for Mike to turn 60? Was 58 too young? Sadly, that spark Mike showed in the first round dimmed very quickly over the course of the next 7 rounds. He went from looking extremely dangerous to looking kinda like a baby with a full diaper. The real battle of this fight was between the commentators over whether Mike was biting his gloves or trying to fix his mouthpiece.
And we saw that he's biting his glove again.
Something wrong with his mouthpiece too. Like I said, I don't like the fact that they keep messing with that mouthpiece. Yeah, something wrong with the mouthpiece.
No, he's biting. I've seen it throughout his career.
And he keep biting that mouthpiece again. I fought him in 2020. I never seen him do his mouthpiece like he's doing it tonight. He's still getting that mouthpiece. I just don't understand that.
And I don't want to debate or get into an argument.
Oh, I have a habit of biting my gloves when I fight, yes.
Clearly, Evander never watched Baki or he'd know what was up. At some point in the fight, I think Jake Paul noticed Mike's age weighing on him and had a sudden realization that he was committing sanctioned elder abuse on national television. This caused the fight to slow down significantly as Jake didn't want his brand to be known as the worst hospice program of all time. Simultaneously, everyone in the audience came to the same realization that what they were watching was becoming more immoral as time went on. I was literally looking around wondering why no one was doing anything to stop this. I was about to call the cops, or I would have hopped in there myself. They talk about me like I'm King Von in the ring for real.
Something was wrong with him. That's not human, man. You're not regular, man.
So yeah, Jake decides murdering an old man isn't the content he wants on his channel, and essentially carries Mike to a unanimous decision. In a stupor of CTE and dementia, Mike Tyson says he might want to box again, and that maybe he should take on Jake's brother. And Logan, no stranger to using death for content, says this.
Motherfucker, I'll kill you, Mike. No, please, no.
My brother, you are scaring the hoes. And Twitter's response to the fight was a mix of old man jokes, sadness, and extreme cope about Mike Tyson holding back for the script. Jake Paul defeats Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson in question. Jake Paul to Mike Tyson.
Storm takes back the lead.
Unbelievable! McQueen is fading! McQueen is fading!
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson after fooling the entire internet and making millions off this fight. I've seen multiple people comparing Mike Tyson's movement in the ring to Joe Biden, which is an apt comparison because just like Joe, he's going out on top and we all paid the price. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. I'm out. Keep your smile.